Good morning. Welcome to New Thought Northern Colorado Center for Spiritual Living. We're so glad that you're all here with us this morning, joining us online for another inspiring morning together so that we can come together to experience and express all of the love that we can possibly hold, to practice radical acceptance and inclusion, and to connect with one another and with spirit. Even in these times, NTNC continues to be the beacon of personal and planetary transformation in Northern Colorado and beyond. We're a powerful spiritual community, lovingly committed to a world of acceptance, compassion, peace, and joy. So just settle back now and join in with your own voice if you would like to sing along with Julie as she opens us up with our song. And so it is.
Blessed day, I am thankful, grateful heart, I am whole. Glory be to the power of this mind that I know. Soulful praise to the wonder, freedom sing a joyful song. Calling love to the center, lifting all is one. Sing it now, so it is. Anything I dream, it is. Sing it now, so it is. Think bigger now, so it is. I'm holding this vision of peace, knowing a world of harmony. Calling love to the center, lifting all. We are free. Sing it now, so it is. Anything I dream, it is. Sing it now, so it is. Think bigger now, so it is. I'm holding this vision of peace, knowing a world of harmony. Calling love to the center, lifting all. We are free. Calling love to the center, lifting all. We are free.
Somehow my mic is still muted. So what I was saying is that I love how that song always reminds me to call love to my center, as well as calling love to our center, our collective center, our community that we share with one another. So just close your eyes in this moment and take a deep breath. Take a couple if you haven't had one in a while, and just relax. And just know with me that God is all there is. That when God says that I am that it means I am that, and whatever comes after that, all goodness, love, peace, joy, perfection, power, wisdom. God is all there is. And I am so grateful to know that I am that as well. That each one of us here is that we have come here to be an expression, a manifestation, the embodiment of all of that, of peace, of joy, of perfection, of love. That not only are they ours to be, but they are ours to express in the world. And so I know that I am the face of God here on earth. I know that each one of us is the face of God here on earth. And that we come together in this morning just to bask in our center, to bask in the divine within, to bask in the community that shares this philosophy, this love, this way of being in the world, knowing that we are never alone, for we are always divinely guided by spirit, divinely supported by spirit, and by one another. And all we need do is to open our minds, open our hearts, and open our mouths and ask, and we shall receive. And so I just look forward with joy to this morning, to Reverend Lea's talk. I give thanks for each heart, each hand, every musician, every practitioner, every mind, heart, and hand that comes together to join in to create this container of consciousness from which we can fill up. We can fill up this container so that it overflows, spills out into the world, and makes the world a better place. What a joy and how beautiful it is to know that. And so I am grateful. I am grateful to know that my word that I have spoken in this moment is made so right now, because it passes through a law which only says yes. And it is made so. And so I know that I can release this prayer in confidence, with assurance, with peace and love. And we can anchor this together by saying, and so it is.
Stand in the light to make things right. Love wins by faith and not by might. The goal you seek, you cannot achieve. Lay hold on love and dare believe. Oh, love divine, thy strength is mine. I dare to trust my will to thine. I walk by faith the rugged road, and know that thou wilt share my load. Then make your choice, lift up your voice, and cry aloud, rejoice, rejoice. Love is the way, and love the light that leads me through the darkest night. Lay hold on love and dare believe.
Oh my goodness. Was that amazing or what? Thank you, Jimmy and Catherine and Julie. Wow. Do we have an incredible group of musicians, talented musicians, headed up by our amazing music director, Jimmy Eads. Thank you. My heart is just bursting open right now. So let's just begin continuing to open our heart and to harmonize our hearts and our minds. Let's just take a deep breath. Just begin by taking a deep breath. Placing your hands over your heart, and let's repeat these words together. care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. One more time. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. So all month we've been talking about freedom, such an important topic. Today's topic is the Tao of Freedom. Lao Tzu, the founder of Taoism, looked at the world and noticed that there was this natural ebb and flow, this natural intelligence to nature. Taoism is a Chinese philosophy, and it's a philosophy that focuses on living in harmony with the Tao. And the Tao meaning the path, the way, a set of principles to live by. And to align yourself with the Tao is to be in harmony with that natural flow, with the movement of the universe. Not to force things or control things, but just simply to allow. And according to Lao Tzu, the more that we interfere with this natural balance, with these universal laws, the further we become from living in a harmonious life. The more forcing, the more trouble, as he says. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, says this about freedom. The road to freedom lies not through mysteries or occult performances, but through the intelligent use of nature's forces and laws. And so when we work with that natural intelligence that exists within the universe, that intelligence that governs all things, and we understand the laws of the universe and work with them, there is something available to us that wasn't before. For example, the law of oneness. The law of oneness is about knowing and recognizing our connection and our oneness with all things, that no matter who stands before us, we know that we are one with them and can never be separated. Another law is the law of circulation, that whatever we put out comes back to us tenfold. So if we give love and we share love and we are that expression of love and that is our focus, that returns to us. This is how the universe works. And so when we live in harmony with these laws, and there are many of them, there is a rhythm, there is a flow, a happiness, an experience of freedom. Lao Tzu said that unhappiness comes from the interfering mind. When our mind is trying to control something, overanalyze something, we all know what it's like to be overtaken by the mind, the monkey mind, as some call it, and we can't shut it off. There's a very sweet book about Taoism called The Tao of Pooh. It's a book about Taoism using the characters of Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh happens to be one of my favorite characters. And so Benjamin Hoffman says this in the book. Tigger and Pooh are speaking to each other. Tigger says, "Just how do you do it, Pooh?" "Do what?" asked Pooh. "Become so effortless." "I don't do much of anything," he said. "But all those things you get done." "They just sort of happen," Pooh said. And Benjamin Hoffman says this, "While Eeyore frets, and Piglet hesitates, and Rabbit calculates, and Owl pontificates, Pooh just is." Yeah. So when we can quiet the chatter in our minds, we'll discover that there is a presence. There's a presence within us that speaks to us. And it may not be in words, it's an energy. It's a knowing, it's a feeling, something we cannot explain, but suddenly we know what direction to take. And when we're in the flow of the Tao, we are following that energy. We are following that inner guidance that is there. Take this job here end this relationship, move to this city, take on this new project, buy this house. When we're in that flow, we know exactly what to do in every moment because we are tapped into that divine guidance, and we're never separated from that. And when we follow it, we experience the freedom that comes with that because there's no fighting, there's no pushing against, there's no resistance. We're just like Winnie the Pooh, we are just allowing. In nature, there is that definite flow, isn't there? One season flows into the next so gracefully and so easily. There isn't a push to make a season happen, although those of us from California, I can honestly say that when winter comes, I wish I could make it much shorter than it is, but okay, that's just me. But there isn't this push to change it, and even if we tried, we couldn't. And when a natural disaster takes place, like a forest fire, isn't it beautiful to watch the growth that then comes up eventually? This new growth returns. In the winter, everything goes dormant. And then in the springtime, the flowers bloom and the trees bloom. And through summer, everything becomes more lush and more alive. And then winter, fall comes and things change. And then winter comes again and the cycle starts all over again. There's this natural cycle that occurs in nature. And this is also true for each of us. There is always something dying in order for something new to arise. What is wanting to be released in your life? What is something that is ready to die, is ready to be let go of? A way of being that perhaps is no longer serving you. Anger that perhaps you've been holding on to. A way of seeing the world or a perspective that you know deep down is ready to be transformed. We're always in that flow of birth and death. Something is dying in order for something new to be born. And in that moment, something is rising, something is being born within us. And if we're able to flow with that, if we're willing to allow this natural cycle and this natural rhythm to occur, there is freedom. There is peace. If we try to stop it, if we try to interfere with it, we disrupt the evolution that is trying to take place within our soul. I believe that there's certain experiences that each of us are meant to have in this life to support our growth and our evolution as a soul. I believe that some of us are here to learn forgiveness, and we're continually given opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to forgive. Some of us are here to learn compassion, and we are given dozens of experiences to open our heart to others. And some are on a journey about trust. And the universe continually brings us situations where we can choose to let our guard down and to move into trust. So many of these are just a few examples, but I do believe that each of us are moving up the staircase of evolution, continually to transform ourselves, our soul, through these experiences, becoming a higher and higher expression of love. And this happens through these experiences. It happens perfectly. The perfect people, the perfect circumstances come into our lives to assist us in order to evolve. And the same is true for our planet and for humanity as a whole. What is happening right now in our communities, in our cities, related to the pandemic, related to Black Lives Matter, is a wake-up call. Just like in our own lives, in the collective, there are things coming to the surface right now that need to come up, that need to be coming up to the surface in order to be looked at, in order to be healed. There is a divine pattern of perfection that is always taking place in our lives and in the lives of the collective. We can look at what is happening right now and we can label it as bad, as awful, as terrifying. Many other adjectives come to mind. Whether we're referring to the pandemic or we're referring to systemic racism, and as soon as we label it bad, that energy permeates our system, it permeates our consciousness. Now, I'm not saying that racism isn't wrong and that what our Black brothers and sisters have experienced over the last 400 years isn't wrong. That is not what I'm saying at all. But we are at a turning point in our consciousness. We are being asked to wake up in a way that we never have before. This is a new beginning for humanity. Something is trying to be born, is trying to rise up. And the more that we can trust that and have faith in that, knowing that the divine indeed is contained in all of it, the more freedom we will experience. What if the label that we gave COVID, instead of focusing on the death toll and people refusing to wear masks, that instead, this is occurring to create greater compassion, love, and recognition of oneness with humanity? And what if the label that we give to Black Lives Matter is that there is a healing that is taking place? We have a long way to go as a human race, but healing is indeed taking place in the collective consciousness. And when we focus that, we are aligned with that divine essence of God that is within us. The Tao is about allowing whatever is in front of us to be, meaning to trust what is there, to trust what is showing up, to trust every aspect of it, knowing the absolute perfection of it. We were made for this time. We are being asked to raise our consciousness, to align with spirit, with source. We are being asked to trust and know that as painful as it is to witness what is happening in our world and in our communities, that everything is in divine right order. We are being asked to be more mindful in our actions, to understand what Black Lives Matter is truly about, to open our hearts and to be more compassionate towards others. How beautiful is that to know? We are being asked to step outside of our own egocentric views, to open our hearts and our minds, and to recognize our oneness with all. It's about surrendering to what is taking place and trusting the divine unfoldment of it all. Now, it doesn't mean not taking action. If that is something that you are called to do, then so be it. But know that we are witnessing a total transformation of consciousness on this planet. And so some feel called to take action. Some feel called to go into the silence. It doesn't mean that one is better than the other. If we are tuning into our own inner guidance, then we are in the flow. We are honoring our own natural rhythm. We know what we need to do. We know what action to take. It becomes clear as we tap into that inner guidance, as we tap into the flow. When we take action because we feel we should, there's an absence of freedom. We're no longer in that state of flow. We're not in the rhythm of the Tao. We are operating from a different energy. And how many of us have experienced that in life where we have taken action on something and later we realized, why did I do that? It didn't feel right, but we did it anyway. Maybe we were pressured by somebody, But we knew on some level that deep down, it didn't feel right. And when we do something that isn't right for us, it's as if this foreign feeling is in our body. You can feel it. We know when we're not aligned with our inner self. And freedom comes when we aren't resisting something. We aren't trying to make something happen, but instead we're following the natural flow, that natural rhythm. And we can still take action, but it comes from an inspired place and a place of trust and a place of faith. So notice the places in your life where you are trying to make something happen, where it feels like you're pushing against something and you're experiencing resistance. When this happens, we are not in the rhythm of the Tao. We are not in the flow. And therefore, the experience of freedom isn't possible when we are in that state. But as our lives unfold, as we go where we are guided, and we pay attention to where we are called, we are following that flow, we are following that rhythm for ourselves and for the collective. And not only is freedom possible, but peace is possible. And so in this new beginning, as we can look at it that way, there is a new beginning that is happening. We can acknowledge that something is dying within humanity in order for something new to be born. And in this new beginning, because setting intentions are so powerful, I'm going to ask each of us to set an intention for our lives and for humanity as a whole. And so this is what you're going to say. The words are going to come up on the screen. So I intend to anchor blank for myself, for others, and for the world. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to drop into your heart and feel into your being. What is it that you want to anchor for yourself, for others, and for the world? And when you are ready, opening your eyes and saying this statement out loud. What do you intend to anchor for yourself, for others, and for the world? And really feel it as you're saying it. Feel it in your body. Feel it in your heart. And now take a breath. Deep breath. And now we're going to say it again. And we're going to use the word freedom. And we're going to end with that. And so let's all say it out loud together. I intend to anchor freedom for myself, for others, and for the world. Let's say this again. I intend to anchor freedom for myself, for others, and for the world. We are indeed creating a world that works for everyone. We are the way showers. We are the light workers. We are anchors of light and of love and of peace and of freedom. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Let's move into prayer. And so in this light-filled moment, in this grace-filled moment, this love-filled moment, I am recognizing that each one of us are on a journey, that each one of us are in this flow, the flow of the Tao, that we are paying attention and tuning in to that inner guidance, that we are trusting and having total faith in all that we are witnessing, recognizing the divine unfoldment of it for the collective and for each of us individually. And I am knowing that we are anchors of light. We are anchors of freedom for ourselves, for the planet, that is who we are, the way showers, the light workers. We are that light. We are that love. And I am knowing that there is a flow and a rhythm to all of it for each one of us, that we are able to transform our inner selves. And as we do that for ourselves, we are transforming the collective. For what happens to us, through us, happens to all. And so I am claiming right here, right now, and knowing the transformation that is occurring within each of us, within our souls, that as we move up the staircase of evolution, we begin to transform not only ourselves, but humanity as a whole. And how grateful it is to know this, how grateful it is to feel this within the center and core of our very being. And so we release this, we let it go. We allow God to do God's perfect work. And so we release it. And we say, thank you, Spirit, thank you, God, for bestowing upon me all these amazing gifts and revelations and insights. And for reminding me to go within and to allow that flow to unfold in my life. And so we let it go, we let it be, and we ground this in together by saying, and so it is. Amen.
I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
Thank you, Jimmy. We are the place where God lives. We'd just like to take this opportunity, Lily and myself and everyone else, to thank you for your support of NTNC and our spiritual family. You know, it's your gifts, your tithes, and your offerings that allows us to keep bringing this message to you, to continue paying our wonderful musicians. And really, when you give to NTNC, you're giving to yourself, because that is the way that we are able to bring this to you, to fill up your cup every week and in between with all of our activities. So there are several ways that you can share your gifts, your tithes, and your offerings. You can visit our website at www.newthoughtnoco.org. You can text the word give using the telephone number 970-614-4226, or you can mail your gift to our office. The address for our office, as well as the link to our giving page, will be posted in the chat in Zoom or on the comments page in Facebook. Actually, it won't be in Zoom because we're not doing Zoom anymore. Anyway, just for now, place your hand on your heart with your gift or your tithe, and let's affirm our intention together by saying, I live in an abundant universe that blesses and prospers my life. I give with gratitude, knowing that God is my source. And so it is. So we have some announcements. First of all, and as always, we would love, love, love to thank our wonderful musicians, Jimmy, Julie, Catherine. What a beautiful, beautiful presentation you gave to us today in so many ways. And Mr. Petter, you're coming up, I know, and we just love you being part of the team as well. And Val, who's not with us. And thank you too to our practitioners who were holding consciousness today. I think that was Jelaine. And we just love all of her service and her loving heart, and all of our practitioners that bring just so much juice, so much peace, so much consciousness to this ecclesiastical team, to our center, and to each one of you when you call upon them. So, you can call upon them. Our practitioners are available for prayer even now. You can look up their email addresses. I couldn't think of the word. Email addresses in our newsletter. You can subscribe to our newsletter to get all of this information and more by sending an email to info.newthoughtnoco@gmail.com. If you're here for the very first time, we just want to welcome you. We're so glad that you joined us today. And if you have any questions, then please give our office a call and we'll be happy to get in touch with you, or you can send an email and we'll get back in touch with you too. Reverend Lea is going to be offering a book group study just for NTNC on the Me and White Supremacy book. It's also being offered by the CSL community, by all of CSL. But we're going to do one just for ourselves. It's going to be at the same time as the members book study for all of CSL, which will be starting on Tuesday, August 4th from 7 to 8:30. It's just 5 weeks. There's a registration link in the newsletter. So be sure to sign up for that because it's an important discussion. It's important that we raise our consciousness around everything that is happening in the world so that we can continue to be a more loving presence for all. You can join a discussion of the service today after service on our Zoom link, which is also in the newsletter. And this is just a time where we come together for some sharing and connection with each other as our community. So there are just so many other ways that we have to engage. And like I said, just please subscribe to our newsletter and you'll find out all of the great things that we're up to and that you can participate in. So thanks all for being here. I'm going to turn it over to Petter for the peace song, and then we will benedict out.
Benedict indeed. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. God is our power, united all are we. Yes, we walk with each other, perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous vow to take each moment to live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
Thank you, Petter, for that joyous rendition. We just take that peace and we take that joy. And we know for this week, may you be at peace. May your heart remain open. May you awaken to the light of your own true nature. May you be healed. May you be a source of healing for all beings. Remember that you are loved. We love you. Have a great week.